Have you ever wanted to trade a basic early game Pokemon for something cool like a shiny Charizard? Well, lucky for you, gambling addictions exist. Who would really take this trade? They'd have to be blind or something. Well, a feature added in Gen 7 called Wonder Trading was made just for this. It allows two parties to select a Pokemon to trade without seeing what the other person has to offer. It's essentially a Pokemon blind date. And as with blind dates in real life, sometimes you get something unexpected, whether that's good or bad. It may seem like this playthrough is starting off the same as every other, but soon it will look fairly different. I had decided to do a hardcore Wonderlock, and even decided on some extra rules to keep it fun. A Wonderlock is a Nuzlocke, but instead of using the one Pokemon you can catch per route, you Wonder Trade it off and use what you get from that trade. The hardcore part means that if a Pokemon faints in battle, it's dead, released back into the wild. And like most of my challenge runs, there would be no items used during battles. For added rules, I decided that like a Nuzlocke, I could only catch the first Pokemon on a route, meaning if I fail to catch it, then I don't get a Pokemon. I also decided that if I received a Gendmon, specifically the classic URL named ones, they could not be used and they counted for that route's Pokemon. Now that the rules are out of the way, let's get into the gameplay. By the time I could actually use the Wonder Trade feature, I had already caught my second Pokemon and was itching to get started. We traded our starter away, and in a goofy stroke of luck, we got a Grookey back. This Grookey had its hidden ability though, so definitely an upgrade. Next off was our Route 2 Rookidee that ended up being traded for a Roltz. Not sure if it was named or if this is just Roltz in another language, but this Wonderlock is off to a phenomenal start either way. Next, we returned to Route 1 as I had skipped every encounter and we captured a little squirrel. Well, that's what I'd like to say, but I embarrassingly accidentally fainted it. So no Pokemon for me on Route 1. But quickly moving on. Route 3 was up, which means another chance at a team member. This Clink volunteered and was traded off to... Yeah, so no Pokemon for me on Route 3 either. As if that wasn't bad enough as is, Route 3 proved to be one of my least favorite early on. A wrap trapping Roltz from being able to switch out led to a huge loss too early in the game. Unfortunately, this will not be the last Pokemon I have to release. Well, time to go replace Roltz with another Pokemon. Just kidding. Having only one Pokemon made Thwackey a little too strong, completely destroying Diglett. At this point, every battle becomes 10 times scarier, knowing anything could knock out my last team member and end my run. Luckily, Thwackey was too strong and bullied my backup rival's backup, which means it's now time to actually replace Roltz. I need something to fight the grass gym with, so we're hoping for fire, bug, flying, or poison. And we actually ended up getting pretty lucky with a fire bug. With a new ace up our sleeve, let's get onto the gym battle. Milo and his grass Pokemon were quickly defeated by spamming Flame Charge, and we officially collected our first badge. Now, a new route means a new Pokemon. Well, hopefully. I've had pretty 50-50 luck so far, but we'll see. All I have to do is catch a Wobbuffet. Pretty easy, right? Apparently pretty easy to catch, not so easy to catch without Larvesta getting destroyed by a counter. After yet another disappointing release, we trade this killer for a Scraggy, which, fun fact, was my ace in my original playthrough of Black and White. Upon entering the next city, I found fishing holes in the center that counted as a new route, so we caught a new Pokemon. Unfortunately, our bad luck spree continues with another ginned Pokemon. But we aren't gonna let that hold us back. On to the second gym, where Nessa awaits. Similarly to the last gym, I am more than prepared to steamroll her with type advantage. Scraggy just being an absolute bully, and Thwacky's Razor Leaf put in work. One by one, her team fell until we were awarded our second gym badge. After a quick tea party with the chairman, we were off to Galar Mine 2 for another new Pokemon. Binnacle was an easy catch and ended up being one of the most interesting trades of the entire playthrough. We used our new Ice Electric Fossil Pokemon to defeat our rival again and some Team Yell chumps before it was already time for another catch. We Wonder traded Coughing off to Misty, who kept up with her roleplay and sent us a water type just in time for the fire gym. Maybe things were starting to look up for us. I know I feel way more relaxed now with a few team members. Maybe I'll even just put on some Netflix and not pay attention while I lose my Scraggy. Well, off to the hotel to fight my crush, and then to the gym where I catch a Vulpix for the gym challenge, and debate with myself if it counts as a new route. But that's a problem for later. Right now, I have to focus on taking down Kabu. After paying attention to how much damage Arcanine did with a bite, I left Quagsire in, which led to him getting a lucky crit and taking out my one water type. He followed this up by clapping Arctozolt with Scorch. There goes half my team. With more casualties than I planned for, I scraped by with the win, and Wonder traded the Vulpix, now needing to replace my entire team. My ex-Water Ground had been replaced with Water Rock. Now, just to replace my Electric Ice. Choodle quickly evolved into Dreadnought, the thing we once feared. A quick art history tour, followed by some more Team Moan fighting, was just what Thwacky needed to evolve. We now have Donkey Kong on our team. New route, who dis? It's Yamask for a level 60 Staryu. Fair trade if you ask me. Next, our OG rival Hop tries to fight my gorilla with a baby, and questions his life choice of becoming a trainer, while I catch another new Pokemon to trade. I really am not a fan of Impidimp, but he earned some points with me as soon as I saw this trade. A Beast Dragon type is exactly what I need to get my mojo back. And with that being said, I found a Water Stone and evolved Staryu, just in case the dragon wasn't enough. No need to fear, the fighting gym is here. No flying Pokemon? No problem. A Wobbuffet taught me a great strat for fighting bigger opponents. Skadoosh. Another gym down, a rival arrested, and more art before jumping into the fairy gym. This was one of the gyms I was a little more nervous for, and due to a lack of attention span, yes, again, I was right to be worried. I quickly avenged my starter, but man did this one hurt. I thought he was going all the way. Unfortunately, there was nothing to be done about it now. I just had to move on and replace him, which, funny enough, I did manage to get a grass type from this Wonder trade. I instantly said to myself that this was not a fair trade for my monkey, but honestly, I changed my mind about it throughout this playthrough. We quickly evolved our newest team member and followed it up with Axial evolving. The team honestly had a glow up, but we aren't done. It's time to add a new team member. This time, we're adding another dragon, but also a flying type. Now our new baby bat may be useless against this next gym, but Whimsicott is anything but, steamrolling all his Pokemon except Colossal. The next route gifted us a pin urchin to be traded for another flying type, but now we also have fighting coverage. The team could definitely be looking a lot worse. We hit a little speed bump at the gates of Spikemouth. No one was allowed in, and they must have implemented a no flash photography rule, because out of this whole playthrough, this gym was the only recording to be corrupted. The battle was lackluster anyways, Fairy beats Dark, so Whimsicott came in clutch once again. Onto the Dragon Gym Leader, who has a weird kink for weather and actually doesn't have very many dragon types. With his defeat, the gym challenge comes to an end. All 8 badges have been collected and it's time to fight the Elite Four / final tournament. But not before trading for another Choodle. Alright, so the tournament started strong with us going head to head with Mommy Marnie. She was getting completely ran through until Grimmsnarl took out my Hawlucha. I'd say this was probably the loss I least cared about, to be honest. We never really used him and had another flying type anyways. Next up on our hit list, Old Boy Hop. Now, just as Marnie had managed, Hop was able to take one Pokemon out before taking his L. My only other flyer. After losing 2 team members so close together, we needed some cheering up, so Sunglasses volunteered to play hide and seek with me. He was actually a pretty decent hider. Unfortunately, his mom thought I was a bad influence and went crazy. Back to the tourney. For some reason, they let a jailbird imitating a gym leader challenge me, followed by an actual gym leader. But even with Dreadnought trading his neck for the ability to go bipedal, not even Nessa could stop me. Apparently, in these final battles, I decided 6 Pokemon were too many, and I wanted to clear a few out. So as I defeated Nessa's Dreadnought, mine fell to an unexpected grass move. Ryan the Weatherman was up next, but his single battle skills were just as uninteresting as his double battle skills. Also, his giant tower Pokemon blowing up and falling seems a little in poor taste. Off to the woods to play with wolves and an old murder weapon before fighting the chairman of the Pokemon League, who released a giant creature that even the champion himself couldn't catch. Don't worry though, those wolves in the wood came to help out, and we, some random kid, managed to capture the beast. Too bad we couldn't Wonder Trade it, so our 4 Pokemon team isn't changing. Without any further ado, it's time for the final battle. Undefeated champion Leon versus the hero and the Beast Tamer. I led with Haxorus and Swords Dance to raise my attack before using Outrage to try and just brute force my way through, but decided to bail when he chose to send out his own Haxorus. Starmie Hydro pumped Haxorus down and he sent out Dragapult, so I switched to Dreadnought. Thankfully, Jawlock one-shot because he couldn't take another hit. Seismitoad was next, but Whimsicott, having 4 times effectiveness, handled that quickly. Time for him to sit the rest of this match out because it's all fire types from here. With both of my water types being low health, I used Haxorus to fight Cinderace, and I actually decided to use my Dynamax here. Not sure how necessary it was, but Cinderace joined the one-shotted club. All that stands between us and the title is a Charizard. A giant, fiery Charizard, and our water types were still out of commission. Haxorus did have a rock type move though, so I chose to keep him in. Plus, this way I didn't lose Dynamax. It ended up being the right call because in 2 turns, it was over. When the dust settled, only I was standing with Pokemon remaining. We didn't lose a single team member in that last fight, although it was a close call for all of them. We did it! Our first ever Wonderlock completed! A 4 Pokemon team was all that was left in the end, but I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it a few times, so I'll take it. I don't know how other people do these without losing a single Pokemon, but hey, to each their own. If you liked what you guys saw today, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. These playthroughs take a while to record and edit, so any love is much appreciated. Well, that's all I have for y'all today, so stay safe out there, recruits. Peace.